Previously on Pam Perspectives.
What has gone wrong? Against the backdrop too that, and it's funny because I remember a few years ago, immediately after Carnival, like the second week in January, we knew at least 3/4 of the artists were coming. And the funny thing about that is that people were critical. People were saying, oh, you could tell they don't want Carnival because no sooner as Candy does settle on Carnival, they're talking about music festival. But what a difference 2 years have made.
It was not by any means a way of trying to kill Carnival.
Yeah.
And I think it only enhanced the Carnival. It only enhanced it. And having come for Carnival, visitors, and they see the lineup,
Entice them to
coming
come
back in 6 months.
Right.
When I first went into the role, one of the first things I did, Lavon, was to research. Was that people need, especially patrons who were traveling from abroad to come to St. Kitts, need at least a 6-month lead time to
6
plan
months.
6 months
Yeah.
to plan who has to apply for vacation, booking flights, to see the lineup and decide, well,
mind.
I want to go
Right.
to
Yeah.
St. Kitts for this.
Yeah.
Even in the Caribbean now,
Right.
if you wait until 2 months before, you have a smaller pool to choose from because artists are already booked
Yeah,
out. There's
yeah.
some artists who booked a year in advance.
Yeah.
My last music festival was in 2019 when we had that famous year when we had Buju Banton and we had 15,000 people.
What has happened?
Well, I don't know, but I would love to know, for example, well, who is choosing the artist? Who are the persons or the person negotiating and choosing, and what is, there wasn't even a build-up to the launching of the final lineup. You woke up one morning, oh wait, tourism has a press conference today. Oh, and by the way, the final lineup for the music festival is. There was no build-up, no hype, no energy going into it. And so we don't know what is happening. All you know is one day you wake up and, well, here's a lineup. Where's the local marketing? By now we should have had even the annual list of fringe events out, because the fringe events start in May, not just in June. We don't even have that. And so far they've just gotten everything wrong.
There was a time when there was a real hype around the weeks, maybe even months before music festival. I think there used to be something around the island, some bar hopping kind of thing. There used to be something in Nevis even.
That's right.
And everywhere you go, people were just excited and in high anticipation, looking forward. For me, if something works, why change it?
It is as though this government has come in and anything that was being done by the past administration, well, we can move those people. We can change that. Whether it is you're going to the music festival and you say, not, we can clear out a bunch of people from the music festival and put our own people in there without having that transition. One of the things we used to do to make the St. Kitts Music Festival unique, we used to use what they call radius clauses. So when we contracted an artist, that artist could not perform anywhere in the region for 3 months before and 2 months after our music festival. I know everybody is talking about Mary J. Blige. She's an artist that we looked at many times, certainly during my tenure. But there's a reason why we never attempted to contract her. Her performance fees are such that it did not make economic sense. If you're going to pay $1 million for an artist, that is a substantial part of your your budget.
But then, so I'm going to ask you the question directly: is music festival a profitable venture?
I dare say it is not. Certainly not right now. Monies that could very well have been saved, and to empower some of these young people, whether to assist them in vending, getting a bar, in participating in the build-up events, the fringe events. That money is going outside to foreign interests, and our people are at a disadvantage. Look at the number of seats that
are
are
still available. Yeah.
on the flight.
Yeah. That is a whole message.
Well, let me say this. There are no regulations in place to support that legislation, and so that legislation is inactive. And so what the festival actually did was put people in a position to incriminate themselves by smoking marijuana publicly. Music Festival Committee that was released by the Ministry of Tourism this week at the press conference. There are at least 3 persons on that committee, the minister herself included, who have personal interest in breaking down. There's also persons with interest in white sands. And so you have the same people who are tasked with booking artists for these 3 events at the same time. Now, I am not saying that anybody is doing anything wrong, but the perception is not a good one.
Yeah. But let's talk about the local marketing now.
Well, all I could say is we have plenty of persons with proper marketing experience, marketing companies. You yourself are into marketing, so you could back me up on this. And my recommendation would be use tried and tested persons or businesses to assist in properly promoting the music festival, both locally and abroad. Seats are available. There may be people who we can still entice at this 11th hour to come and check us out. Other than that, we're no longer in a position where we can just say, well, it is St. Kitts Music Festival, people can come, man. We don't have that privilege. I spoke about a lot of the competition that we have now, BVI. We just had St. Martin Carnival. St. Lucia comes out. St. Lucia's budget alone is so much bigger than ours. They're able to bring in those multi-million-dollar artists that we can't afford. A big contingent from the Ministry of Tourism traveled to Dominica for the Creole Festival to see what they're doing down there, to see what takeaways there. A few years ago, the Creole Music Festival invited the chairman and myself to come down to see what they were doing and to give them recommendations.
The tables have turned.
The tables have turned, unfortunately. Have a bar or to cater for an event like the music festival, it takes a lot of capital, it takes a lot of money to go into it. I think just to get a bar alone is $10,000.
You have to pay to the music festival committee?
You have to pay to it.
Without any guarantee you'll make anything?
Before you buy the first drink to sell, without a guarantee. And when you wait this long to bring the festival to people who in this economy is going to commit themselves to that kind of
upfront payment.
payments when they don't even know what the lineup looks like. They can't judge get a sense of the excitement and the people who are gonna come based on the lineup, because there's no lineup to feed off of. I can remember one year, because we came out so early, there's a group of young men from the Mac Night Irish Town area came early and said, boy, look, this lineup looking good. We know people coming this year, we want a bar. We can put together. And those fellas went around working and doing odd jobs, selling drinks on the side of the road, and until they came up with the $10,000. I remember they brought it to me in a paper bag in cash and said, no, take that down by the Ministry of Tourism. And they did quite well. They made a profit, and you know what they did with the profit? They went back into the community and they bought groceries for elderly people in the community. They did things to help their community. And these are the types of opportunities that can flow from the music festival, not just for established business people, but for any group of young people who want to do something positive. When you think about the kind of crime and the nonsense that we're facing, these are opportunities that we can provide to young people to do something extraordinary. And again, they didn't just take the money and go and buy drinks and clothes. They went back into the communities and assisted persons who needed that help.
That was highly commendable.
Unfortunately, when they applied the next year, they weren't able to get the bar.
Really? During the COVID years. So, I don't know. Maybe they need to hire some fancy marketer and they can look at the product and put it under the microscope and come back with some recommendations. But surely none of us want to see it die, because I think over time it has brought a lot of people together. It has put our country on the map. It has made a lot of people proud. It has probably allowed a lot of young people to understand the intricacies of production and lighting and all of
Absolutely.
that, and maybe allow them to get income from those things on the side.
We got to the point where a lot of the service providers that were being outsourced from foreigners was being done locally by young people.
There you go. So it did add some value to in more ways than one to people as well as to the economy. So surely it is our prayer. We are actually hoping that it doesn't die an unnatural death.
We need an all hands on deck approach. We need to stop alienating people. We need an all hands on deck approach.
Amen.
So that we can all ensure that whether it's music festival or carnival or whatever it is, as a national interest, we are all in a position to see it succeed.
Stay tuned for more informative and enlightening topics on PAM Perspectives.